That's some good coffee. That's some good coffee. Welcome back to Getting Sober ... again, where I am drinking Pacific Rim Whole Foods organic coffee today. How you doing? All right. Well, today we're going to talk about what I've done to say no to drinking. How do I say no? I got an email yesterday, and thank you for all of you that have been emailing me, and if you've been commenting below, thank you for that too. It really makes me feel really good to get some comments. I know I say this every video, but I'm not going to stop saying it because it makes me feel really good. So as good as maybe these videos make you feel like you're not alone, your comments make me feel like I'm not alone, and hopefully together we are of support to one another. So thank you. Somebody emailed me and asked me, what am I doing, or what are you doing? Jay, what are you doing? How to say no to drinking? How do you keep saying no? How do you resist the urges and the temptations and all that? And I had talked about in a previous episode about feeling really crummy the other day and going to play pool. And it had been like the first time that I'd gone to play pool in a month, where I used to be in a pool league. I used to play pool every day. Every day I used to play pool. So I keep checking my monitor because a couple of my episodes recently have been going out of focus. And because there's a teleprompter attached to the front of this, which I'm not reading from, but I think the glass was keeping the camera from staying focused on my face. So it is off today, and it is lowered out of the way. So anyway, more information that you don't need to know. But people email me. Somebody asked me about, what am I doing to say no and to stay sober and all that. So, how do I deal with temptation and all that? And I talked, like I said, about feeling crummy the other day. And I went to go see my mom, and I was, I cried a little bit. And I was, saying, like, I don't really feel like, I don't know if this is worth it. And, I feel like I don't want to let anybody down, and I want to keep, moving forward with this mission. I just wish that, I wish I wasn't going through the honeymoon, the post honeymoon phase, or the post pink cloud blues. If you aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, I talked about it in my previous episode. There's a link up above about what I was dealing with being 4 months sober. So this is just the next day. This is tomorrow after that video. I recorded that video yesterday, but I feel a lot better today, and it might be the organic Pacific Rim coffee from Whole Foods that I'm not sponsored by, or it might be because we're on we have a sunny streak going on. It's like actually warm for Cleveland. It's warm. It's like I just left the gym. It was like almost 50 degrees out. The sun was out. I think we're in the middle of a 4 or 5 day streak of sun, which is amazing. And I know if you watch all these videos, I want to get out of Cleveland to either maybe Miami or St. Petersburg or Austin or San Diego or Las Vegas or Albuquerque or Phoenix or LA. We'll see. But who knows? I got to go check out all those places first. But yeah, I was feeling really crummy the other day, and I went to go play pool, and it was just like, oh, yeah, socializing is good. But I've been, I've been wrapped up with trying to be a good citizen, I guess, and being mindful of the COVID protocols in my local area, in my city, and in my state, and in the country that I live in. So that hasn't been the best for my mental health, and then also too, I've been very light on work, just like a lot of people, and not knowing exactly where the next paycheck is coming from and all that good stuff. So it has been a little bit nerve-wracking, but that brings me to a couple of points. One, some people have been privately messaging me and asking me about how can they support this channel, and I wanted to get a specific Cash App or Venmo, a business account, which would just be Getting Sober again. But I have to get another phone number, so I haven't done that yet. So if you do want to donate to this channel, from now on, the videos in the links below, it'll have my Venmo and my Cash App. If you do want to support this channel, it'd be super helpful. It'd be great. If nothing else, support your local artists. And if you don't know any local artists, support me because you like me, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what do I, how am I getting through my days and how am I saying no? So on the topic of it being still COVID time, and whatever your political beliefs are, we're not talking about that. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. In my opinion, if you want to hear my opinion is that it's all, we're all a little bit of both. And at the end of the day, we all, care about our family. We all want to get ahead in life, and we all, I feel like, want better for, other people. Sometimes selfishness gets in the way of selflessness. And so political leanings aside, it's still COVID time. And we're still being ordered, again, whether or not you believe masks work or whatever, it's not what we're talking about. But, I'm not going to the places that I used to go to, because some of them don't even exist anymore. And some places are just not open anymore. A lot of my friends are musicians, I DJ. One of the last venues, I was right before the last of the venues closed, before COVID started, I was offered to DJ, to do a night. And the numbers were just going up. They were, the numbers were like this at that time. And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna go. I don't wanna do that. And so I missed out on that. And it had been probably like 3 or 4 months before I DJ'd before that, because it was warm out, and I did like an outdoor event. And then so a lot of those places closed. So a lot of things I'm used to doing, I'm not able to do anymore. And it's been cold, which I play tennis, I like riding my bike, I like to go hiking and all that stuff. And I haven't really been able to do that. And it's yeah, you could do some of those things in the winter, but I'm not gonna do it. So I go to the gym. So, but saying no, I guess you may, I know you probably asked what's your point? Get to the point. The point is it's COVID time. And I've been using this opportunity to not do the things that I used to be able to do, or that I'm not doing the things I used to do, which was going out to bars, going out to restaurants, going to music and concert venues, and being in situations where it's party time, party mode. I've been limiting myself. I've been, as part of following the protocol, I've been removed from house parties and gatherings, and I'm not into sports, so there was no Sunday football for me or whatever else. I don't do things like that. So it's been a lot of alone time. A lot of the only real interaction I've had with people has been going to the gym, and then with talking to you all here, and a couple of very close friends, a few, 3, 4 people maybe that I've seen in person throughout all of winter. It's legitimately that amount, and I've gone and played pool a couple of times, and so that's at a bar. But in yesterday's video I talked, or maybe I don't know when I talked about it, but with the honeymoon phase and all that stuff, I was, for the first 30 days, first 60 days, I felt like I had a lot of momentum. I felt like I had a lot of power, and I was full of hope and optimism. I was feeling great, and I was not going to let anything get in my way of falling short of my goal of being sober. And at about 2 weeks, if you're wondering, maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you're still struggling with day one, I'll tell you my very strong opinion of what I felt. And again, I know everybody's different. But after about 2 weeks was when I started to have gaps of thinking about booze, where I'd be like, oh, I haven't had it. Oh, I didn't think about getting happy hour. I didn't think about it all day today. Oh, I didn't think about just giving in and going and buying a box of wine or whatever, your cheap guilty pleasure was, or a bottle of cheap tequila and White Claw. That was that was all I did in the beginning of in spring and summer at the beginning of COVID. All of my friends were everybody I knew were rampant alcoholics. I don't know anybody at the beginning of COVID. I'm sorry to laugh, but I'm past it. But and I hope that you are too, or you're getting there. But at the beginning of COVID, everybody was just it was COVID was going up, and so was alcoholism. And then it was it got cold, and then everybody's oh, mental health, whoop. And then so there's a lot of that going on right now too. And but now the sun is starting to peak. Hopefully where you're at, hopefully you don't live in a place the area that I live in, Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Detroit, the Rust Belt, so to speak, Buffalo, Rochester, are some of those. This is the cloudiest, one of the cloudiest areas, and not in a good way. Not like Miami's cloudy too, but the sun shines hard and it's beautiful, right? But like, you know, in those places, it's just gray. It's just like gray 200 days a year. So that, you know, it's not a good time, you know. Yeah, we have a little sunny streak right now, but it's not great for mental health. A lot of my friends, one of my close friends, I've been just trying to get her out of the house for like the last couple of weeks. Offered to take her out for her birthday, and then like that time came and that time went, and you know, she's been busy, but like also like struggling with mental health, and it's like, man, I can't even like lure this person out of the house. Hopefully that's not a commentary on me, but I know like she was pretty, you know, she's been sad, and I like another friend down in Texas has been talking about like she's got like 2 little kids, and I've known her for like 20 years now, but like she's just been going to therapy now. She just agreed to go on like Prozac. And according to her therapist, mental health is obviously on the decline, and consumption of SSRIs and antidepressants are back on the rise. And you know, nothing I talked about yesterday, like nothing is really like a cure-all, like an end-all be-all for your mental health, right? You know, as much as we want to believe, and as much as like I was feeling pretty crummy after my first 2 months of sobriety, and the last month 3 and going into month 4. So month 1 and 2 were cool, but then month 3, and then getting to that 4th month, which is I'm at right now, was kind of like, I was feeling kind of like down. Like I don't know of anything, which is a struggle for me. Like I don't know what's gonna fix how I feel maybe inside. And that's why I'm committed to sticking with the sobriety, because I know that like this is a big deal for me. So that's part of how to answer this question, with the millions of other answers, with COVID and all that stuff, with the social distancing and whatever, and haven't been able to do some of those things anyway. So I just use that momentum. But like some of you maybe you know or you don't know, I'll put the video link up here, or the thumbnail at least, of the I wasn't feeling good in my stomach, you know, like over the past couple of years I've been feeling like phantom kidney pains or back pains. I'm not sure which they are, because I don't know what's you're just a big flesh bag. I don't know where the pain's really coming from. Is it the base of my lat? Is it my spine? I don't know. Or is it my kidney? I don't know. Is it my oblique or is it my kidney? I don't know. Is it my duodenum? Is it my large intestine, small intestine? I don't know. So I went and got all that checked out, and but you know, and then the doctors found that I had like a couple of lesions on my liver. So also too, if you want to donate for that reason, click the link below. But everything's cool as far as I know, and I got some solutions to some problems. But that was also more motivation for me, and I talked about that in cat hair. Sorry, I talked about that in another episode, which was trying to avoid rock bottom thumbnail, where hopefully you can see the path that you're on. And I know that I'm a big cat hair. I'm gonna firm opinion on this real quick, which is I firmly believe that all of us, you too, we can see the path that we're on. And we know that if we continue on this path, there are not good options ahead. And there's gonna be some amount of loss, whether it be of our significant other, or our home, or both, or a job, or our children, or the opportunity to even have children. There's a lot that we can lose, and life and limb included in that. So, you know, one of the things that makes, sometimes we look for like a milestone marker to maybe quit alcohol, like New Year's Eve, right? But sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we get bad news from a doctor, and then we decide, oh no, I wonder if we can reverse course. And for a lot of people, it's too late once you get to that point. And you know, one of the things that I still deal with to this day is like burying my dad in October of 2019. And like he just went real hard for a long time and never really took any breaks, except for like maybe a decade when he and my mom were sober. But after that, like as far as I know, he just drank every day, drank a lot. And then I get it. You know, drinking can be it can be sometimes, unfortunately, the only bright spot in your day to at least get that little bit of a buzz. And I get that. And that's something that I struggle with, too, with this is my, like, being honest, this is part of my buzz right now, is like making these videos. And during the time of when I would normally be at like happy hour is when I'm editing these videos. So I think about when I'm sitting in this chair, there's a chair over there. But my editing station is another corner of this basement. But during the time that I would have normally been at happy hour and wasting time, and I've been playing pool or whatever too, but I've been just sitting there with the regulars that come in at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then having to hear about their day or whatever, and then deal with like, every flavor of human being, and like the person that has a cloud over their head, and the person that has way too much energy, and then the person that's just gonna go smoke weed in the patio or whatever. And I decided, part of that was I wanted to be able to continue making this channel. And so that was also motivation for me. So that's also part of the answer of, saying no. I have motivation by being able to do this, and maybe part of your motivation is looking forward to these videos. And I know that that's definitely the case for some of you. If that is, maybe comment below, or you can email me privately at gettingsoberagain@gmail.com. So it became less of an issue after 2 to 3 weeks to say no. Like the cravings really weren't there anymore. The thoughts would pop into my head. I have there are lots of thoughts, they, depending on what article or study you see, we have anywhere from 20,000 thoughts a day to 100,000 thoughts a day, right? And some of them are wild and extravagant, and some of them are nasty and perverted, and some of them are just like, oh, White Claw and tequila. But that doesn't mean that it's a craving just because you think about it. But sometimes it does trigger a craving. Sometimes it triggers, happy thoughts. Maybe it triggers thoughts of like what life used to be. Because for all of us, depending on how lax you've been with your restrictions, life hasn't been super great over the last year. A lot of us have been having to adapt to this new, or this temporary normal. I don't want to say new normal, the temporary normal of not getting to see our friends and not getting to see our family as frequently, and not having Thanksgiving, not having Christmas, not having, the regular social gatherings, not having like, maybe, I don't know if you skipped Labor Day, Memorial Day, St. Patty's Day, 4th of July, all these big markers and milestones and days that we would have normally had off, so like that hasn't been good for our mental health. But like what I did during the opportunity I took during COVID was to just say like, well, while we have this excuse to not be doing this stuff anyway, why don't I just go ahead and take advantage of it and not do it? And that's not a reason for you to say like, well, restrictions are coming, and so I don't know. Like I think I missed that whole thing, so now I feel guilty, and so now I want to drink. Just chill out. That's always my advice. Just chill out for a second. Hold on. Just because you have the thought doesn't mean you have to drink. Just because you're having a little bit of anxiety doesn't mean you have to grab that old crutch of yours to go drinking. Just because we're feeling a little sad, or somebody pissed you off at work, or your spouse sucks, or your partner sucks, doesn't mean that you have to get a drink. It's definitely doable to say no, and to be accountable with your friends and family and say like, I'm not doing this. And you can do whatever you want to do. You can drink. I'm just not going to do it. I'll have a mocktail. I'll have anything else. I'll have some kombucha. I'll have some tea. I'll have some coffee. And like none of those things are going to make you feel that the way the alcohol felt. I understand that. I get that. But you understand that, and you get that. So the more that we know, the more we can plow through our day and find a reason to get to the end of this day without drinking, and then tackle tomorrow, right? So don't bite off more than you can chew. Making lofty goals of saying that you want to be sober for a year, which I haven't officially said, but I'll just say it now. If you're even watching to hear me say that my goal is to be sober for a year, comment below. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below, and good luck on your journey, and I will see you in the next video.